Alright, in this video I'm going to go over the integral test. And the integral test is one of the tests that can be used to determine if a series converges or diverges. So for our first example, I'm going to use the series from n equals 1 to infinity of e to the negative n. And since it's the integral test, we have to take the integral. So I'm going to rewrite this series as an integral, and that would be the integral from 1 to infinity of e to the negative x dx. And now this is an improper integral, which is why we have to use the integral test to tell if it converges or diverges. And it's an improper integral in this case because the limit goes to infinity, and that cannot be integrated regularly. So I'm going to rewrite this in limit notation as the limit as a variable. In this case, I'm going to choose the letter b, approaches infinity, of the integral from 1 to b of e to negative x dx. And now I'm going to take the integral of e to the negative x dx. And the integral of, since we know that the integral of e to the x is just e to the x, since there's a negative in front of the exponent, we'll have to counteract the chain rule and put a negative in front of the e to the negative x for the integral. And so the integral of e to the negative x is negative e to the negative x plus c. So now I'm going to substitute this back into the integral and rewrite it as the limit as b approaches infinity of negative e to the negative x from 1 to b. Then I'm going to expand it and say the limit as b approaches infinity of negative e to the negative b minus negative e to the negative 1. And now I'm going to sort of plug infinity in for b. And if I have it to a negative power, I will get negative 1 over e to a very large number, like almost infinity. And if I do that, I will get a very, very small negative number, but this will approach 0. So as the limit of b approaches infinity, this is going to 0. So if this equals 0, and then I'm left with e to the negative 1, which is just 1 over e. And since the limit as b approaches infinity does not equal infinity, I know that this series converges. And that's the problem.